It's spring, and although the season gives plenty reasons to sing and dance, breaking up may not be one of them.
And so we've gotta break up, it's the only way, 'cause I would resent you. That's not fair.
Former couple Jonathan Mann and Ivory King declared their breakup to the world with this viral tune last year. But while making YouTube videos is not the most popular way to share breakups, the internet has become a fascinating platform to track the most frequent periods for romantic beginnings and endings. A graph by David McCandless and Lee Byron deems that, if Facebook is anything to go by, the beginning of spring and the 2 weeks before Christmas are peak periods for breaking up. The graph is based on Facebook relationship statuses in the North American region, so considering our current springtime, breaking up may be imminent for a lot of South Africans. While breakups are not always dramatic or uncivil, studies show that the brain reacts to a romantic breakup with grief, despair, and depression. Emotions then move from fear, anger, jealousy to confusion, then relief. Men and women deal with this process differently. However, some couples may not be able to declare a breakup, even when it may be necessary. And in these cases, the advice of a professional may help spur them on the journey towards positive change.
And what a journey it is, huh? Some woke up with heavy hearts this morning. Others think, how do I do this? I need to break up with a partner and I'm not really sure how to. Well, I have to say, you're not alone. If someone is contemplating breaking up, I guess you're at the right place right now because we've got Dr. Eve with us. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Ilana.
It's good to have you back because your information and your advice is always so valuable. Dr. Eve, if someone wants to contemplate breaking up with their partner, how do you do it? What's the best way to go about doing it?
They've been thinking about it for a long time, so they've just been delaying and avoiding because it's really hard to shred relationships, especially significant relationships where you share a lot of things.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, you may be sharing business, you may be sharing money and children, friends, family, so people hang on for quite a long time before they actually wake up in the morning and say, that's it, I'm done.
But how do you express those feelings? How do you decide, okay, I'm going to talk it, write it on a billboard?
You know what? People say it before they do it,
Okay.
but the signs are not picked up. People choose not to pick up the cues because it's really inconvenient and it's really hard sort to do the breakup. So somebody might have an affair as a way of saying, I know that's a deal breaker in the relationship and therefore I'm going to do that because it's the only way I can get out the relationship. Or they may really do something that would upset the person because they don't have the courage to have the conversation.
It feels hard because we've all been through a breakup or some kind of separation, whether it's you firing a friend or even that you want to part with an actual partner. What's the best way to deal with it? I mean, heartbreak and despair, anger, jealousy. What if they meet someone else?
Yeah, well, the main emotions that happen with breakup are guilt, relief, grief, and lots of anger. So the beginning stage is always like, it's your fault and it's because of you that this blame game that goes on.
Right.
And then as it subsides, people really feel the heaviness of being without the other. So I'm talking about, no longer am I talking about breakup because it's kind of harsh and it sounds shattering. People do not leave each other, actually. They just go into a new kind of ending.
Wow.
And I think that feels softer for people because that's why so many people have sex with their ex, because they don't want to really let it go. So we have to be more realistic. The breakups are not really endings. They're just a different change of the nature of the relationship. But the relationship actually continues, and that's why there's jealousy. I mean, how do you be friends with your ex? People have very strong opinions around that. Yeah, and some people really are. And that's when the jealousy comes into it.
You know, I giggle a little bit about it because I want to assume that it's something that, you know, we can get over with, you know, and when should you seek help? Like, people always talk about moving on. When do you know, okay, I'm not moving on, I need a professional to intervene?
Yeah, look, I think the fatal mistake everybody makes is like moving into a new relationship pretty soon, just to be able to get over it. If you find that you're lingering like 6 months, 8 months, definitely a year, and you still can't let it go, and you still are almost consumed with the thought of the other person, that's the time to seek out professional counseling. I think right in the beginning it's also a great idea because it gives you skills and tools to know how do I deal with the change of relationship that's happening. He's no longer my partner, but he's still the father of my child, or we're still business associates, or we actually still kind of like each other, we still want to have sex with each other. So you begin to redefine a new kind of relationship which feels softer. It doesn't feel as harsh as we're shattering, we're breaking. This is something which is over forever. It isn't over forever. And one has to acknowledge that.
Dr. Eve, thank you so much.
It's such a pleasure.
I can't wait to have you back. We'll have
I
more
look forward.
something problem solving so that you can come back on the show and help us out.
Thank you.
Well, then you know what they say. They say it's called a breakup because it's broken in the first place. But from our relationships to our talents, imagine dancing in Soweto and the next moment you dancing up in the Big Apple. Well, take perseverance and talent and sprinkle a bit of luck in it and you get an amazing story like this one.